Okay, good morning class. So at this point we're looking at trigonometric ratios and we're busy with exercise. We're looking at the examples for exercise 7.7. Okay. Today we're going to look at trig ratios or ratios of special angles in the interval 0 to 316. 7.7. And that's on page 237. Right. These examples are the examples on page 237. 239. What's wrong with you guys? Thank you. Right, so people who can remember what special angles are. Special angles is dealing with what? Angles with 60 and 30. So it's 1, 2, root 3. 45. Okay, it's an isosceles triangle. So it's 45. So it's 1, 1, root 2. And 90. People, this is not a triangle, but it works for what we are doing. That's 0, 1. Okay. So now that we have mastered the technique of reducing ratios of any angle to ratios of acute angles, you are equipped to evaluate ratios of any special angle in the interval 0 to 360 degrees without using a calculator. Okay. Let's go to the first one, number 1. And take us up. You see the example 1 is on page 237. Where's the other thing? That's it. Alright. So we keep this on the side here. Let's take the calculator away. Right, so let's look at A. A. You got sine of 120. People, which quadrant is 120 in? Second quadrant. How do we get into the second quadrant? Put this on the side here, we need this as well. It's all stations to claim on. How do we get in the second quadrant? 180 minus. So it's 180 minus 60 degrees. Can you see that? So 180 minus 60. Is sign positive or negative in the second quadrant? Positive. So it's the sign of 60. So what do I do now? I go to the special angle. What does sine stand for? Opposite over hypotenuse. So it's going to be what? Square root of 3 over 2. You all understand? Is there any of you that's confused? Let's look at B. The B question says cos of 240 degrees. People, which quadrant is 240 degrees in? Third quadrant. How do we get into the third quadrant? 180. Or you could have said 270 minus. Okay. But we're not going to use 90 and 270 unnecessary. Okay. We keep that for special occasions, where we need to cancel and so on. Okay? But if we have a choice, we normally just convert it to 180 plus 180 minus. Okay? But if you had gone with 90 plus or 270 minus or 270, you would have gotten the right answer anyway, if you are applying it properly. Okay? But the one thing is that learners always forget is to change the sign to cos and cos to sine. Okay? So we said it's in the third quadrant. So how do we get into the third quadrant? 180 plus 60. Not so? So is cos positive or negative in the third quadrant? Negative. So what do I write? Negative cos 60. Did I make a mistake? No, what's wrong? Okay. So how do you work out cos? This is a 60-degree angle. What does cos stand for? Adjacent over hypotenuse. This must cos of 60. You all agree with that? So that is going to be 1 over 2. So your answer is in simply negative, because of that negative 1 over 2. Okay. Any confusion? Alright, let's look at the last one of example 1. You've got tan of 315 degrees. Tan of 315 degrees. Okay. The question is, in which quadrant is 315 degrees? In the fourth quadrant, absolutely. Alright. So how do I get to the fourth quadrant? 360 minus 45 degrees. Not so. So is tan positive or negative in the fourth quadrant? Negative. Thank you. Negative. So it's going to be negative tan of 45. Okay. Did you guys agree? Okay. So you got tan of 45. So what does tan stand for? Over adjacent. Can you see? So that will be 1 over 1. You all understand? Right. So that would simply be negative 1 over 1, which is negative. Okay. See any confusion at this point? Okay, you just be confused here. Why are you making your eyes like it? Huh? Strange. Right, so you guys understand? Let's see. Is there more? Yes. Here's example 2. Example 2 is on page 237, yes? Same page? Why did I put it so far away? 237. Alright. So here it says determine the value of the following expressions without a calculator. Alright, so let's look at A. So sine 240. In which quadrant is 214? Third quadrant. So what do I write? Sine 180 plus 60 times 330 is in which quadrant? Fourth quadrant. Now do we get in quadrant 4? So it's 360 minus 30 degrees. You all understand? So what do I do now? 180 plus, which is, it is in the third quadrant. Is sine positive or negative in the third quadrant? Negative. Negative. So it's negative sine 60 times. 360 minus is in which quadrant? Quadrant 4. It's cos positive or negative? Positive. Positive. Cos 30. Now what? Now I can write this using the special triangles. So what is sine of 60? Opposite over hypotenuse. So it's root 3 over 2. What is cos of 30? Cos stand for adjacent over hypotenuse, which is also root 3 over 2. Can you see that, people? So it's going to be root 3 over 2 times root 3 over 2. So it's negative 3 over. Okay. Any confusion? Not yet. Okay. Just when it comes to the exam, then we like doing some other subject, no? You're not writing maths and the stuff I taught you in class. Okay. Right. Let's look at B of example 2 on page 239, 237. People, sine of 300. Sine of 300. Which quadrant is that in? The fourth quadrant. Okay. How do we get in the fourth quadrant? 360 minus 60 degrees plus 315 is in which quadrant? 135, sorry. Second quadrant. How do we get into the second quadrant? 180 minus 45 degrees. Okay. So 360 minus is in your fourth quadrant. Is sign positive or negative? Negative. But because of the square, it's going to remain positive. Because that sine squared 300 means to say sine squared 300 times sine squared 300. Not so. A negative times a negative is a positive. It remains positive. Sine squared 60. Now 180 minus is in which quadrant? Second quadrant. Is tan positive or negative in the second quadrant? Negative. Tan 45 degrees. You all agree with that, people? So sine 60. What does sine stand for? Opposite over hypotenuse. So it's going to be the square root of 3 over 2. And it must be squared. Okay. Minus tan of 45. So opposite over adjacent. So it's going to be 1 over 1. So root 3 over 2 squared is root 3 times root 3 is 3 over 4 minus 1, which is negative 1 over 4. Okay. No, don't look nice. Okay. People, you guys understand? Say any confusion? Oh, there's more. Yes. I'm excited. There's another 2. And so I didn't take the blue away. But okay. Right, now we're looking at C. Here we've got cos 300. Let's make it a bit bigger. Oops. So here we've got cos 300 plus sine 150 over tan of 225. So where do we start there? 300. 300 is in which quadrant? Fourth quadrant. So what do I write? 10. Cos 360 minus plus 150 is in which quadrant? Second. What do I write? Sine 180 minus over 225 is in which quadrant? Third quadrant. How do we get in the third quadrant? 180 plus 45 degrees. How can it be 360? Not over 270. Right, so let's go. 360 minus is in which quadrant? Fourth quadrant. Is cos positive or negative? Positive. So it stays positive cos 60. 180 minus is in which quadrant? Second. Is sine positive or negative? Positive. So it's positive sine 30 over 180 plus, which quadrant is that in? Third quadrant. Stand positive or negative? Positive. So it's positive tan 45. So all three of those angles are special angles. Not so? What's wrong, Leanne? Nothing. Okay, so you go cos of 60. What does cos stand for? Adjacent over hypotenuse. So it's 1 over 2. Cos of sine of 30. What does sine stand for? Opposite over hypotenuse, which is 1 over 2. Tan of 45. What does tan stand for? Opposite over adjacent is 1 over 1. Will you guys understand? So sine, cos is half, sine is half over 1 over 1. So it's 1 over 1 over 1, which is 1. The answer is 1. Any confusion? Still none. Okay? Let's look at the last one. Okay. D. Right? Tan of 300 times sine of 120 times cos of 90 minus alpha over sine 180 minus alpha. Right, where do we start here? Which quadrant is 300 in? Fourth quadrant. Is tan, so it will be tan 360 minus 60 times. Which quadrant is 120 in? Second quadrant. So I write sine 180 minus 60 times. Now 90 minus alpha, in which quadrant is that in? First quadrant. So cos positive or negative? Positive. All is positive. And 90 minus is going to change cos to? So that's sine alpha over 180 minus, which quadrant is that in? Second quadrant. Second quadrant is there. Sine positive or negative? Positive. So it's positive sine alpha. Now 360 minus is in your fourth quadrant. Is tan positive or negative? Negative. Negative. So it's negative tan 60 times. 180 minus is sine positive or negative in the second quadrant? Positive. Sine 60. Now sine alpha cancels sine of alpha, not so? Right, so it's negative tan 60 times sine 60. So what does tan stand for? Opposite over adjacent. So it's root 3 over 1. Sine 60. Okay, sine 60. Sinus. So that's the angle 60. So it's opposite over hypotenuse. So that would be root 3 over 2. So the ultimate answer is negative. Root 3 times root 3 is 3 over. Any confusion? No, you all understand. So with that you should be able to do exercise 7.7. Okay. That's your homework for tomorrow. I'll start the video this one.